Okay, dear students, good morning. In our today's session, we are discussing about the division process out of the four arithmetic operations: addition, multiplication, subtraction, and division. So, in the previous sessions, we have discussed about the addition, subtraction in one session, and the multiplication operation in two sessions. General multiplication algorithm, Boole's multiplication algorithm, and by using the array. So here today we are discussing about the division. Simply, if you take a numerical example like dividing a 37 with, say for example, 4. Dividing a 37 with some example 4. So here you know very well that this first number 3 is lesser than 4. So lesser than 4, that which cannot be divided by 4, which cannot be divided by 4. That's why here we consider both the numbers. We consider both the numbers. So by considering both the numbers, see here, as you know very well, 4 nines is 36 and 1 will be the remainder. And I have taken a simple example for easy understanding. This remainder 1 will be compared with the divisor, and if this remainder 1 is still greater than 1, so what we did is the calculation is wrong. So here, if the remainder is less than this one, then what we did is right, and this will be considered as final remainder if there are no more numbers are there here. If there are no more numbers are there here. If there is any more number is there, that you will as it is transfer. You will as it is transfer, and together these two numbers, say whichever it is, again you will divide with this fourth table, and whatever you are going to do, we will write here. Say 9 2s 8. Say, assume it is 0 here and 0, 9 2s 8, and then remainder will be 2. Okay, again we will check whether the remainder is less than this divisor or not, and this process will be continued forever. Continued forever. Say for example, if we take another one, say like 90 391, say 04 90 391 04. If you want to divide, so you know very well that 19 2s is 38. You take here 1, this one come down 1. Now you just see the remainder obviously less than 19. The remainder is obviously less than 19, but still here the dividend is not completed. In the previous example, we continue the process till the remainder is less than divisor, we said. But here in the second case itself, the remainder is less than 19 even after moving the bit to down. Even after moving the bit down also, the remainder is less than divisor. But we don't come to a conclusion because this length is not completed. This length is not completed. So for that purpose, again we want to get down one more value. So you know very well, when after getting down the first value, if this is not possible to perform the division by the divisor, and if you want to get a new value, we'll put a 0 here. We'll put a 0 here, and then 110 will be easily divided by 19. We will put here, and you will do something will be number, you some remainder you will get here. So this 4 will come down, and then whatever the value here coming, that quotient you will write here, and then remaining one you check with 19, and then quotient like this you will. Okay, and whatever for every step, whatever the remainder you are getting here, you need to consider that it is not a final remainder, it is a partial remainder. It is a partial remainder till these number of bits are over, these number of bits of the dividend are over, and the remainder gets less than this dividend, you have to continue the division process. I am repeating, till the number of bits in the dividend are gets over and this remainder is less than the divisor, you have to keep on continue this process by adding numbers here to the quotient. By adding numbers here to the quotient. Now that is a better example for a decimal division. A better example for a decimal division. Now we will see how a binary number division will be performed by using one small example. You just see here, divisor is of 5-bit divisor 10001 and dividend is a 10-bit number. This is a 10-bit number. I have taken an example 0 1 1 1 0 0 0 0 0 0, right, 10-bit number it is. And so you forget about the quotient now. So this quotient we will get after completion of this entire process. For the purpose of saving the time, I have already noted down the solution here and I will explain step by step here. First, we just consider the 5 bits of the dividend. The 5 bits of the dividend. You can see 0 1 1 1 0 obviously is less than the divisor. So this is starts from here 1 0 0 0 1. So here in the 5th position we have 0. Here in the 5th position we have 1. So by that comparison we can come to a conclusion that this dividend is less than the divisor. This dividend is less than the divisor. So the 5 bits of A are less than B. The 5 bits of A are less than B. That's why this 6th bit is considered. So in the previous also, when we performed 36 divided by 4, the first bit is less than 4. That is 3 is less than 4. We have considered the next bit also. Then 4 nines we did 36 like that. Okay? We have not put anything in front. You can ask me, sir, if here there is one more bit and come down which is less than this, you told me to put the 0 in the second example. But here, even after you consider the second number also while dividing, if you put 0 when considering second number, 09 doesn't have any special value. So 09 is equal to 9 only. That's why here when you are considering the 60 bit, here in the quotient we can put 0 but of no value. You can put 0 of no value. So after considering this 0, so whatever now these 6 bits is greater than or equal to B, we have to assume. These 6 bits are greater than or equal to B, we have to assume. Okay. So now this dividend or divisor is subtracted from the dividend. This is the dividend and this is the divisor. This from these 6 bits, the 5 bits are subtracted. Okay. So before you are going to subtract, you shift right the B value. So if you don't shift right this B value, what will happen? So here this 1001, instead of having there 10001, it will be here. But we are not supposed to subtract from this position. So we have to shift right the value of B and need to subtract. We have to shift right the value of B and need to subtract. So that's why after shifting right, you will get this value here. So why in the division we are subtracting this divisor? Why in the division we are subtracting divisor? See, so this dividend into 1. So here you just see, after you shift right B and subtract ones, you are entering 1 in this cube. So 1 into this is equal to 10001, that we are subtracting. So because we are subtracting this divisor for one time, we have put 1 in the cube. So now only this part is over. So 0 1 and 1 both are equal. So that's why you need not bother about this 0. So you will have here 1 very much beginning, 1 is there. Okay. Now after subtracting here, you will get 1 0 1 1 this one. Okay. Now, as you know very well, for after a bit subtraction, the next bit position will come on. So here after 0, now this 0 will come here. So when it comes to there, it will becomes to 7 bits. So of course here there is one more 0. You doesn't matter any number of zeros are there at that side is of no value. So now this with these two zeros, this will become as 7 bits partial remainder. 7 bits of the partial remainder. Now this 7 bits of the partial remainder is again greater than b. Again greater than b. So that's why again you are shifting right b. You are again shifting right b, and then you are subtracting. You are subtracting. So the moment you shift right b and subtract, again you have to enter one more 1 in the result. So now at this point of time, q contains this. Of course, initially as I told you can put 0, we can discard it later. So this is q value up to this. Okay. Now when you come to here 0 0 1 0 1 0. So here remainder, whatever the partial remainder is there after shifting this 0 also, this 1 0 1 0 is less than b. So remainder is less than b. So when remainder is less than b, simply we are shifting right b. We are shifting right b because we are going to add an extra 0 here. You see, because here 1 0 1 0 is there. After that you are going to get one extra 0. One extra 0. So when, as I told you in the previous example of the decimal point, when you are going to enter an extra 0 here, we are going to put a 0 in q. So now you will have added a 0 in the q value. So after this, now the remainder is greater than b. So this is the partial remainder, whatever is there. So that is after adding 0, it becomes total partial remainder. From this partial remainder, you are going to shift right. So here you just see number of shift rights are there. Shift right b, where here only one time shift right, so minus, here 2 times, here 2 minus, here third time 3. Okay, now remainder is greater than b. Now again fourth time, so 4 times the b is shifted right. B is shifted right, and then subtracted, and then subtracted. So after subtracting, as we told you, for every shift right we have to add 1. So again we are going to add 1 here. So of that you get these results. So then whatever these zeros are got over and one more 0 is there, you even add here. Okay, this one is less than b. This one is less than b. So even here there are no more zeros. Even if you get once again shifted also, finally you will get 110 only. So this 110 you cannot add because all the numbers are here. So here 6 numbers are over here. Then one more number is added, 7 bit. So 7, 8, here 9. This is 10th one. So 10 bits are got come down. So even after coming down the 10th bit, still the b is lesser than the remainder. Here the 10 bits are over. That's why you can stop dividing the number by considering this as the final limit. So here, as extra bit is also shifted for comparison, you are going to put a 0 here. So whenever you get down one extra bit rather than only one bit, if the second bit is also coming down, then you have to add zeros. So if subtraction is performed, add 1. So if no subtraction, only shifting right, add 0. No subtraction, only shifting right, just add 0. Shift right, the b, and subtracting 1. So now this is the final quotient. So here see 1 1 0 1 0. Putting 0 or removing 0 doesn't matter. So in this division operation, 2 outputs you will get, quotient and remainder. These are total. Now here one question. Sir, why subtraction is being done? So how the division and subtraction are interrelated with each other? the division and subtraction are interrelated with each other. That we will see now. For example, I told you when we discussed the multiplication algorithm, say 4 into 7. 4 into 7. So, as we know very well that we can write the output as 28. But generally, do we have this multiplication operation in our digital computer? Do we have this multiplication operation in digital computer? Even, in fact, we don't even perform the subtraction operation directly. How we are going to perform the subtraction operation in the digital computer, you know very well. So if A is there and B is there, two values are there. If you want to perform A plus B, simply we can do addition of two numbers or binary number, decimal, whatever it is. But if we want to perform A minus B, do we perform subtraction directly? No. This A minus B we get by adding 2's complement of B. So this is 2's complement of B. So by adding this 2's complement of B to A, we get through the subtraction. Yes or no? Even the previous division example also, whenever I say you subtract B, whenever I say after shift right the B, you subtract B, it doesn't mean that you are going to add the 2's complement of B to the previous partial remainder. You are going to add the 2's complement of the B to the previous partial remainder. That is what we are going to show. Even subtraction itself doesn't have a specific meaning in the digital computer how the multiplication will be. So the multiplication in your computer is performed by using addition only. The multiplication in your computer is performed by using addition only. How? See, 4 is one input, 7 is another input. So here 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. So plus, 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 plus. So adding 4 7 times you will get 28. Adding 4 7 times you will get 28. So multiplication operation also in the digital computer will be performed using the addition. You can ask me, so why can't we add 7 7 7, that is plus 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 28. So 7 can be added 4 times to get the 28. So between these two, whichever is having less number of steps, obviously addition of 4 7s only, then adding 7 4s. This time you need to perform 6 times addition, here you need to perform only 3 times addition. 7 plus 7 one time, whatever the result you get, plus 7 second time, whatever result you get, plus 7 third time. So only 3 times. Here it is not like that. 6 times you need to perform the addition. So in the computer, whether this will be executed or this will be executed. So for the purpose, when the two numbers are given to multiply, these two numbers will be compared for which one is lesser and which one is greater. So among these two, which one is greater, that number will be added lesser number of times. The greater number will be added lesser number of times. Okay. So how this comparison will be performed? As we discussed, the basic computers are one. There is a component called as arithmetic logical unit, which performs arithmetic operations as well as also logical operations. Logical operation means greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, not equal to, like that. So by using this logical unit, this comparison can be performed to find out the greater number and the lesser number. After comparison, the greater number can be added lesser number of times. So this is performing the subtraction, performing the multiplication using addition operation. Now, how the division will be performed? We will see now. as we told you, you take 37 to be divided by 4. 37 to be divided by 4. So I told you there is no multiplication operation, there is no division operation directly in digital computer. That's why 37 minus 4. 37 minus 4. So this will be 33. One time subtraction is done. So 1. Again 4. This every time comparison, every time subtraction will compare. 37 is greater than 4, that's why comparison is done. 33 greater than 4, comparison is done. So 29, this counter will be incremented by 1. So again comparison greater than, so 25, so plus 1. Counter will be incremented like that. So 4 subtraction 21. So 4 again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So 17. Again this 17 minus 4. So this is 13 minus 4. Whenever you compare, obviously this is getting greater than 4. So this is 9 minus 4. So 5 again greater than minus 4. 1. 1 is lesser than 4. That's why till this partial remainder, we say these partial remainders are greater than 4 of whatever divisor. In this case, we will keep on repeating this division and this counter value will be incremented by 1. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Total subtraction has been done for 9 times. So this end of the result, this will be 9. So how many times we perform the subtraction? That is the quotient. That is the quotient, and till we perform the subtraction till the remainder is lesser than the divisor, then we stop here. This will be the remainder. This will be the remainder. So even as you know that fourth table or ninth table, simply you are writing 4 9s 36 sir, and then subtraction sir, 1 sir, this is lesser than 4 sir, so we stop here sir. So here quotient is 9 sir, remainder is 1 sir, like that, because it is our simple mathematical operation of division. But in our computer it is not possible, because there is no division operation directly. So in computer the division operation can be done by using the subtraction only. But remember again, subtraction, decimals, we did like this, but inside the computer this is not being done like that. These decimal numbers are converted to equivalent binary values, and every time the subtraction means complement of 4. 2's complement of 4 is keep on added. So after adding in the subtraction, if carry gets, simply discard it. If not carry, then that is no end carry is there. Convert this into 2's complement and consider that as a negative number or something. So never you get negative number here, because obviously this dividend is lesser than the division. Before only we will compare these two. Well, this one is lesser, this one is lesser. How you compare? Again by using your logical operation. So whichever is lesser, that will be called as divisor. Which will be the greater number, that will be called as dividend. At end of this, whatever the counter value you will get is the quotient, and the final remainder, not partial remainder. The final remainder will be considered remainder. So here you will get two results, 9 and 1. So 9 will be in Q. This will be in maybe E or whatever it is. Okay, and carry you can say. Final remainder you can say. You can name any flip-flop about that. So now what is the hardware representation of this one? So hardware representation of this division operation. See, if you remember the hardware representation of your multiplication operator, we used a register B, and we used a like say comparator or complementer, comparator and complementer, then parallel adder. So here parallel adder with complementer also. Complementer. Why complementer is for finding the 2's complement. Then you will have register, A will be there. Then you will have Q to store the quotient, and you will have E, or you can say E, end carry, in our case, partial final remainder, or you can say partial remainder. So this EAQ will be shifted there. Then here we shift right, always B. So here shifting right EAQ or shifting right B or whatever it is, that instruction part. But when you come to the hardware part, we use register B, we use register A, we use register Q, and then we use E, and this complementer and parallel adder. So B will be given as 1 bit. Whenever it is required, complementing will be done, and along with that, A will be added parallel adder. So initially, whatever the A value, after adding, the result will be in A. So how many times we are going to add after shift right? For every adding, 1 will be kept here. For every adding of B, if no adding of B, simply shifting right only, then 0 will be kept here. And next time you shift right and add B, you will put 1. And again you shift right, add B, you put 1. Again you just shift right, no adding, so 0. So when you need to add, when you need not to add, that you will find out. So if A is greater than B, then shift right plus add operation will be performed. If A is less than B, only shift right of B can be done. A is less than B. Why shift right only can be done? After shifting right, because A is less than B, one more extra 0 or one more extra value whichever is there. So here why I am saying 0 is, it may be 0 or 1 because we are getting this explanation for the binary number of divisions. So here in the extra bit position, whichever you are going to get down, instead of only 1 bit, you are getting down 2 bits after shifting right, 2 bits. So for every second bit you are getting, you will put 0 here. You will put 0 here. So that's why if you are simply shifting right, no addition, you will place 0 in the quotient part. And if you are shifting right B, and then you are going to perform the addition of A and B using the parallel adder, you are going to put 1. But every addition, here addition doesn't mean that subtraction only. But what we are going to add, there in the example I have written subtraction, but here I am telling addition. Why I am telling subtraction of B is nothing but adding of B bar plus 1. Subtraction of B is nothing but adding of B bar plus 1. That's why here I am using a terminology called as add. Adding 2's complement of B. You can say adding 2's complement of B is nothing but the subtracting B. So this is the same hardware parts that we use in the general multiplication algorithm. General multiplication algorithm. Here there we might have used EBF, end overflow, something else. Okay. So they say hardware part also we use in the division operation. Okay. So this division operation we will consider a flow chart. Okay. And after discussing the flow chart, we will take one example. So of course, as I told you again, flow chart only will be sufficient enough in this board. After that flow chart explanation, we will take one example and we will conclude this with the explanation of the example. Okay students, now we just see the flow chart drawn for division operation. Flow chart drawn from for division operation. Okay. So here this flow chart contains 2 parts. Of course, it's a continuation flow chart, contains 2 parts. So here, as we have discussed, the dividend is in AQ. Initially, A values are 0, 0, 0, 0, 5 zeros, and the divisor will be in D. Divisor will be in D. So here, as we have discussed the division operation, it can be done for even both positive numbers or one positive and one negative number also. One positive, one negative number also. So whichever is positive, whichever is negative, the quotient. So in this case, if both are positive numbers, the quotient sign will be positive. Quotient sign will be positive. If any of the divisor or dividend is negative, any one of the divisor or dividend is negative, then the quotient sign will becomes to negative. Quotient sign will becomes to negative. So before we are going to perform the actual process of division operation, let us set the sign of the quotient with the sign of this. So you know very well A sign is stored. AS means sign of A bit, A value, that is dividend, and sign of B is a divisor. So when you perform the XOR operation, if both are positive, so positive will be comes to here. Okay, both are 1 1, so here you will get 0. Both are 0 zeros, you will get 0. So if one is 0, this is 1, or this is 1, or this is 0, when both are different, then you will get 1 here, which is a negative sign. Okay, that's the purpose we are using here the XOR operation for performing the or for storing the sign bit. And here the sequence counter, as I told you, for every division operation the sequence counter gets decreased by 1 as like just multiplication algorithm. So initially by removing the sign bit, the total number of bits in the division or divider are n, then SC will be set to it's n minus 1 because the nth bit represents for sign. The nth bit is represents for sign. That's why the number of bits in the SC will be n minus 1, and every time the SC will be decremented. So if the SC becomes 0, then ends the matter. If SC is not 0, then you have to keep on continuing the division operation. So initially, as I told you, this division operation is performed using subtraction. Subtraction means A minus B. So A minus B. But how the subtraction is performed? So A minus B is performed like A plus B bar plus 1. That's why initially we found the A plus B bar plus 1 in EA. EA, as I told you, end carry. Now after perform this one addition, so we'll check out the position of the E. We'll check out the position of the E. So if E is 1, we'll come down. If E is 0, we'll do this. So what is E is 1? What do you mean by E is 0? We'll check it out. If E is 1, what does it mean? Now what we did here, with this operation we did A minus B. So in A minus B, when you perform the subtraction, when the end carry bit will be 1 means it is negative. So means A is lesser than B. A is lesser than B. So when the dividend is lesser than divisor, it is not possible to perform the division operation. See, can we do 3 by 4? No. So if it is 5 by 4, at least one time we can perform. But 3 by 4, it is not possible. So where dividend is 3, divisor is 4. So in this case, so E bit is going to have 1 means A is lesser than B. So at that point of time, we will simply perform EA is equal to A plus B. Both are added. It doesn't matter whether you are going to add it or not also. Then we will set DVF to 1. DVF means here there is a new term, divide overflow. So before we are going to perform the division operation, it is the responsibility of the programmer. It is the responsibility of the programmer to check out whether there is a division overflow in the operation or not. If there is a division overflow, means the dividend is smaller than divisor, then you can end the process itself by simply printing a statement that division overflow come across. By simply printing a statement that the division overflow come across. If this is fine, this explanation is over. But if in any case, if the E value is 0 means, you can assume that A is greater than B. When you perform A minus B, there is no end carry is generated means A is greater than B. That's what we know very well. So when E is 0, then what we are going to use, EA is equal to A plus B, and DVF is set to 0. Here division overflow is set to 1, here division overflow is set to 0. Division overflow is set to 0. Okay. Now after this operation, as the second part of the explanation, we are going to this here. So when this will be executed, if there is no division overflow. If there is no division overflow, then only we come to this part. But fortunately or unfortunately, if we come across to the division overflow, we will put the full stop here and we don't further proceed because A is smaller than B. So when A is greater than B, as we discussed in the previous example of numerical values, we will perform this one. So there what we are going to do, every time we are going to shift right EAQ, shift right EAQ. Then here we will check out the E value is 0 or 1, E value is 0 or 1. So if E value is 0, EA is equal to A minus B. E value is 0 means there is no sign value, it is positive. Then we will perform A minus B here, and that sign bit will be stored. That end carry you can say will be stored here. So then if E value is already 1, E value is already 1, we can perform A is equal to A minus B. A is equal to A minus B. So here what does it mean? It is A greater than or equal to B here. When this will be executed when A is greater than or equal to B. So this will be executed when A is less than or equal to B. So while subtracting. So here again E value will be checked once. Okay, if E is equal to 1, we will come to here. If E is equal to 0, we come to here. So when A is less than B, means, so already we got the partial remainder as the final remainder. So we will come back to this part later. So here when A is less than B or when E value is 1, Qn will be put to 1, means one time subtraction is done. So I told you when subtraction is done, Qn value will be put to 1. So if not, so we come to here A plus B. So then Qn value will be already set to 0 at that position. Qn does not change. So after performing this operation, so either this EA is equal to A plus B, or after setting a Qn value to 1, we decrement the value of SC by 1. If this SC value is equal to 0, means the number of repetitions or number of subtractions are over, then we can put n and the quotient will be there in EA, and the remainder, final remainder, not the partial remainder, final remainder will be stored in EA. So quotient is always in Q, final remainder will be in EA. So if it is not equal to 0, means still we need to perform the comparison once again. So we go back here, same process, shifting right EAQ, and then E value will be checked. So A minus B or A plus B will be performed here in EA. Okay, so E is again this extra bit whatever is checked here. If it is 1, this operation will be performed. If it is 0, E0 means A is less than B. So E0 means A is less than B. So E1 means A is greater than B. So if A is greater than B, you need to subtract A now. That's why you incremented Q value. For every subtraction of B, you will be incrementing the Qn value. Means you are storing the 1 into the Qnth position. Okay. If it is not, then simply you are going to shifting the value. With this operation, shifting the B value with this operation. So here only shifting is performed. Here you are going to perform no shifting. So then sequence counter will be decremented by 1. So checking sequence counter, getting back. This is the flowchart representation of your division algorithm. Here you will get a new concept called as divide overflow. In the beginning only you have to check. This process of performing the division operation is called as restoration operation. Restoration operation means every time the remainder will be restored. Every time the remainder will be restored by getting 1 0 from the top. 1 0 or 1 1, whatever it is in the position, whatever it is, that will be every time gets down and will be added to the partial remainder to become as a new divisor. So new divisor, dividend or divisor, whatever it is. Okay, if you say divisor is in B, you dividend you want, the partial remainder will be restored and can be formed as a new dividend. Then subtract dividend from the new dividend. Again, you will get a partial remainder and then get the value from the top. Either it may be 0 value or 1 value. That becomes as a new dividend. So every time you are going to padding up with either 0 or 1 from the top. So that's why this process of restoring the partial remainder as a dividend, this process of performing the division operation is called as restoration method. Okay, so another one is just simply comparison method is there. What we have discussed, comparing every time the dividend and divisor. If the divisor is less than dividend, you perform the subtraction, or else you simply discard the subtraction and write the quotient as the final 0 and dividend is the partial remainder, whatever it is. So that is comparison method, what we have explained, like say I told you, no, like 36 if you want, so minus 4, again 32 minus 4, say we have taken example as 37 there, then 33 minus 4. This is comparison operation of division, performing the division using comparison operation. See here, performing the division using restoration method. Restoration means every time you are storing again. What you are storing again? The partial remainder will be stored again as dividend. The partial remainder is restored again as a new dividend. That's why this process of division operation is called as restoration method. So now whatever we have explained through this flowchart, we will take one binary example of one dividend A and one divisor B. We will just go through that example step by step. Okay? Okay, now as I told you in the flowchart, let us take an example that divisor is in the variable B, and we performed or we found the 2's complement of B as B bar plus 1. You know, like for example, like 1 0 0 0 1. If you want to find out its 2 complement, first you have to convert all zeros and ones and ones and zeros. This is 1's complement, and adding 1 to here you will get 0 1 1 1 1. So this is a 2's complement. So in this method you found and kept the 2's complement aside. So now the dividend value is there here. Initially, as I told you, the Q will be 50000 and the sequence counter is set to 5. Sequence counter is set to 5. So why we got 5 here is, this is 0th bit, first bit, second bit, third bit, fourth bit. So how many are there? 5 bits are there. So why I told you previously n minus 1 is, so we start from counting 0. So there are 5 bits, so 5 minus 1 like this. Okay. So now shift left EAQ. I'm sorry that I might have told you repeatedly shift right in the flowchart, but it is actually not shift right, it is shift left. You just make a this correction in the explained flowchart there, it is shift left. So we are going to shifting left this EAQ value. So this comes to here, 1 comes to here, 1 comes to here, this comes to here, this 0, and then the most significant bit will come to here, this 0, 0, 0, 0, and an extra 0 is added. That is the shift left operation. As we discussed in the multiplication algorithm, shift right and arithmetic shift right. Here it is very simple shift left. There, if it is shift right, we are moving to that side and adding extra 0 in the last bit position. But here we are shifting left, and after shifting left, we are adding the extra 0 here. So here we are adding B plus 1 because the E value is 0. So B plus 1 means 2's complement, that is nothing A minus B. And after adding this one, 0 plus 1 is 1, 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1, 1 0, 1 plus 1 plus 1, 1 1, 1 plus 1 0 is 1. Here E and carry we got 1. So when and carry we got 1, as we have seen in the flowchart, Qn will be set to 1. So here Qn is set to 1 and the sequence counter is decremented by 1, which becomes to 4, and this is the EAQ value. This is E as is A and Qn is set to 1, so this is EAQ value. Now what we are performing here is shifting left the EAQ. So means this one 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, and the most significant bit of Q is 0, comes to least significant bit of A, here, this one, and added 0 at the end. So now here what is the value of E? Again E value is 0. So we are performing add B bar plus 1. B bar plus 1 means subtracting. So here B bar plus 1 is 0, 1, 1 to this. 0 plus 1, 1, 1 plus 1, 1, 0, 1 plus 1 plus 1, 1, 1, 1 plus 1, 1, 0, 1 plus 1, 1, 0. Okay. So now here E value is 1, set Qn to 1. So whatever the 0 is there, that will be set to 1. So we got 0, 0, 1, 1. So now the sequence counter is decremented by 1 for every addition you see, addition of this one. So now shift left EAQ. So after shifting left, this 1 will be discarded, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, and as I told you, the most significant bit here. So here we just see 0, 0, 1, 1, at end last 0 is there. So now again we are going to add here. So this is added. So 0 plus 1, 1 plus 1, 1, 0, 1 plus 1, 1, 0, 1 plus 1, 1, 1. So 1 as it is 0. So here Qn will be simply left over the 0. So here sorry, if because E is 0, we are going to leave the value as it is. So after E is equal to 0 and leaving here as it is with a new 0, no need to add anything in the Qn value, we are going to perform add B. In the flowchart you can check out if E is equal to 0 and we are leaving Qn as 0 bit and we are going to add B. So here B is added. So now 1 plus 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1 plus 0, 0, 1 plus 1, 1, 0. So now as I told you, leave Qn. So nothing is there. That's why this Qn is as it is come down. So here as we told you, decrementing this one becomes to 2. Here restore remainder. So this whatever 0 we got there, 1 will be restored. As I told you, restoration process of this algorithm. And then so for this one, if we shift right, shift left EAQ, see 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, and then this is 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, again moving a 0 to here. So here after shifting left, we are going to add B bar plus 1. So here adding 0 plus 1, 1, 0 plus 1, 1, 1 plus 1, 1, 0, 1 plus 1, 1, 0, 1 plus 1, 1, 0. Okay, now after that you just see here shift left EAQ. So when you shift left this one, so this 0 will come here, the 0 will come here, this will come, this will come, and this will come, and this 0 here, this 1 here, this 1 here, this 0, this 1, and we get new 0 in this position. So for this addition, already the sequence counter value becomes to 1. So don't forget to decrement the sequence counter value and check out. So now at this process, so restoration remainder here when you get 0. So this E is equal to, as I told you, E is equal to 0. Simply we are doing nothing, and then the sequence counter will be decremented by 1. How many times you perform the comparison? So here 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 is always lesser than this B value. That's why no further shifting left, no further adding zeros to the Q value will be happened, and this will be whichever is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 is set as final remainder. So till now, what are all these are called as partial remainders. Yeah, whatever you are getting, so you will get all these partial remainders. But here this is called as a final remainder, and this 1, 1, 0, 1, 0 is considered as your final quotient. So this is the example for the previous algorithm what we have done. So with this I am concluding the first unit. So the three components. So actually again if you have a overlook about the first unit, right, there are three parts are there. Part 1, basics. I can say simply basics. Okay, basic computer organization. So basic computer organization, and second one is I think historical representation. Historical representation of computers means where we have discussed 5 generations of computers, 5 generation of computers, and the third part is we have discussed about the bus structure. So bus structure, this is in the first part. When you come to the second part, we have discussed about data types. Okay, so data types is more or less we have discussed about different data types like base 2, base 10, octal, hexadecimal, like that, and number conversion we have discussed, number conversion from one base to another base, and complements, addition and subtraction by using the complements method. Okay, now other binary codes we have discussed, other binary codes we have discussed. Okay, and then error detection codes also we have discussed, error detection codes, like this we have discussed. I think in total 6 parts in this data types. And third one, when you come to the arithmetic operations, in this we have discussed about addition algorithm and subtraction algorithm using two's complement method and the general method, and then multiplication algorithm. There are 3 multiplication algorithms we have discussed. One is the general multiplication algorithm, second one is Booth's algorithm, and third one is array multiplier. And then in our today's session we have discussed about the division algorithm. So here I think what we have discussed in the second part is data types, complements, other binary codes, error detection codes, and apart from these we have also discussed about fixed point representation and floating point representation. So in the first part, basic computer organization, basic computers organization, historical means 5 generations, and bus structure, data types, number conversion, complements, fixed point, floating point, other binary codes, error detection codes we have discussed. And the arithmetic operation, addition and subtraction as one algorithm, multiplication 3 concepts we have discussed. That is general multiplication algorithm, Booth's algorithm, and array multiplier. And today we have discussed the division algorithm. So with this we have come to an end of unit 1. In our next class we will go for the second unit that contains RTL and micro operations. RTL and micro operations, that is first part of the second unit. Okay, what is RTL we will discuss in the next unit, don't worry. Plus along with this first subtopic of your second unit, designing of basic computer organization. So whichever we have discussed in this first unit, how to design a basic computer. So if you want to design a basic computer, what are the various components you need, those two we will discuss in this second unit. Okay, with this I am concluding the first unit of your computer organization subject. So thank you very much.